Megan Hicks of I Run Far. I'm with Aurélien Dunand-Pallaz, the second place finisher of the 2021 UTMB. Congratulations and hello, Aurélien.
Merci beaucoup, merci.
Oh my gosh, it's the morning after your second place finish. How are you feeling right this moment?
Donc c'est le matin après ta seconde place d'hier, tu te sens comment là?
J'ai beaucoup mal aux jambes, j'ai pas beaucoup dormi, mais très heureux, puis avec tous les souvenirs qui sont passés dans la tête toute la nuit, ouais.
So his legs are really sore this morning. He really didn't sleep well last night, but he's got all the emotions and all the flashbacks coming back, and it's been like that all night. So he's feeling quite good actually.
It was fun to watch you walk down the stairs off camera a few minutes ago, taking them very gently.
On t'a vu descendre les escaliers là, c'était vraiment compliqué.
Ouais, je pense que c'est la deuxième fois que j'ai aussi mal que ça aux jambes, ouais.
Après quelle course? C'est la première?
Après les 24 heures,
Okay.
ouais.
He's saying it's only the second time he's been so sore after a race. The first time when he broke the world record for elevation gain last year. So it's really sore.
This is I Run Far's first time interviewing you, Aurélien. I'd love to know more about you, where you live, what you do when you're not running, and how you came to be a runner.
Alors c'est la première fois que tu es interviewé par Iron Far, donc Megan elle aimerait bien savoir un peu qui tu es, d'où tu viens, ce que tu fais dans la vie à part la course à pied et comment tu es venu à la course à pied.
Ouais, j'habite à côté du lac d'Annecy, je cours depuis 2012. Dans la vie, je travaille en tant que kiné et je coach aussi des athlètes maintenant en trail. Je viens du foot, j'ai fait du ski alpin aussi et depuis 2012, voilà, je fais du ski de randonnée l'hiver dans les Alpes ici et puis l'été la course à pied, du trail.
Okay, so Aurelien's a local guy from the French Alps. So currently he lives in close to the Annecy Lake. He's from a local mountain range called Les Bauges next to it.
Okay.
So he started running when in 2012. Before that, he came from a football background and also a lot of skiing. So he was saying he does a lot of ski mountaineering still, and he's still very competitive in ski mountaineering during the winter. And apart from running, he's a physiotherapist.
Ah, so you can fix yourself after this race.
Donc tu peux te réparer toi-même après la course vu que tu es kiné.
Non, je compte plutôt sur ma copine qui est kiné aussi.
Actually, no, because he's very lucky because his girlfriend is also physio. He's counting on her to fix him.
You've got a fixer in the house, though. We have seen you race at ultramarathons before. You've been an ultra runner for a while. Did you go pretty quickly from running into these very long races, ultras?
Ça fait un moment qu'on te voit sur des ultras. Est-ce que quand tu as commencé, tu as très rapidement été sur ces longues distances?
Alors pas aussi longue distance que ça, mais oui, dès ma première année en 2012, quand j'avais 19 ans, je me suis tout de suite lancé sur des 50 km, 80 et même à 100 km. Donc c'est tout de suite la longue distance qui m'a attiré, ouais.
So he's saying as soon as he started in 2012, straight away he went to 50k, 80k. So yesterday was his first 100 miles, so he built it up to that. But right when he started, it was always above 50k, which was what suited him.
We've got these church bells going in the background and helicopters going. It's a busy Sunday morning in Chamonix.
Yeah.
My next question for you, you said it's your first 100-miler. This is also your first time at the UTMB festival. Is that correct?
C'était ton premier UTMB. Est-ce que c'était la première fois que tu venais sur une des courses de l'UTMB?
Non, j'ai couru la CCC en 2013 où j'ai fini 7e et j'ai abandonné la TDS en 2018.
So he raced CCC in 2013, where he came 7th, 7e, huh? 7th, and he actually DNF'd TDS in 2018.
Okay. It's interesting to know that you had some background here in Chamonix at the UTMB festival before you decided to make the whole loop around the mountain.
Can you repeat it? Sorry.
I was just going to say that I hadn't seen that he had some experience at the UTMB festival before deciding to make the big UTMB.
Elle dit que c'est intéressant que tu avais acquis de l'expérience sur d'autres courses avant de venir sur le grand, ouais.
Oui.
So, when the race went off on Friday evening, you went out to the front or very close to the front early. Did you feel confident? Did you feel calm? What were your emotions early in the race?
Donc on a vu dès le départ, tu étais rapidement positionné pas en tête de course, mais proche de la tête. Est-ce que c'était quelque chose que tu avais prévu et et quels étaient tes sentiments, enfin tes émotions et comment tu te sentais à ce moment-là?
Je me suis senti bien dès le début, c'est vrai. Après, il y avait beaucoup de coureurs de mon niveau et on s'est retrouvé même avec les plus gros favoris tels que Jim Wamsley et François Den. Donc en fait, on a progressé tous ensemble et voilà, tout allait bien, on avait un bon rythme, donc c'était cool de partager la nuit à plusieurs.
He's saying he was feeling really good at the start, so he just he was running with his feelings, and he was amongst all the favorite with Francois, with Jim, and everyone at the front, and the rhythm actually suited him. So and he said it was nice to run with those guys at the start, so he just ran with it.
It was interesting for me to look at, say, the group of men who were together at the top of the first climb, Delveret, and all of the people that you were with around you, besides Francois, did not finish the race. So it was you and he near the front who stayed there the whole time.
Elle dit que c'était intéressant de voir qu'en haut à Vosal, à haut des Levrets, que ce groupe-là, dans tout le groupe où vous étiez en tête, il y avait François et toi, et tout le reste des personnes qui étaient avec vous, il n'y en a aucun qui a fini. Donc elle dit que c'est assez intéressant de voir ça, ouais.
Oui, peut-être Germain Grangier, mais
Oh,
ouais, il y a
Aussi,
beaucoup.
Germain.
Oui,
Yeah.
mais oui, c'est vrai que ça, sur des courses comme ça, il y a beaucoup d'abandons souvent, on le sait, et ça fait partie du jeu.
Yeah, he's saying in those races, there's unfortunately he's saying a lot of DNFs, so he was one of the lucky guys to hang on.
This year was quite interesting in that it typically in the evening start it can be hot, but Friday night was very cool. Seemed like good racing conditions environmentally.
Elle dit que d'habitude, c'est vrai qu'on a souvent des conditions chaudes et un peu humides le soir de l'UTMB, et cette année, c'était assez frais et c'était du coup des bonnes conditions pour courir.
Ouais, c'était très bonnes conditions, et puis même la nuit, il faisait même froid, et pour le coup, moi, ça m'allait bien parce que je fais du ski l'hiver, et je suis plutôt habitué à ça. Je préfère mettre des petits gants et se couvrir que plutôt avoir très chaud et qu'il fasse chaud. Ouais.
Yeah, he was saying it was cool at the start, it was cold during the night, and he was really, really happy with that because obviously he's a really a winter guy and he loves the cold. So he prefers to put some gloves and a jacket on if he needs to, and he's really comfortable in the cold. So I think the conditions really suited him.
The night makes up so much of this race. We go to dark racing for a long time. You're going over Col de Bonhomme, Les Chapieux, Col de la Seine, past Courmayeur before sunrise. Is that a time, well, what was that time like for you? Being kind of by yourself in the night, seeing headlamps before, behind.
Ouais, toute cette partie de nuit où il y a quand même pas mal de sommets à passer, il y a un grand mort, enfin c'est long, Courmayeur, puis même après de nuit. C'était comment de vivre ce moment un peu tout seul, si tu l'étais pendant la nuit, avoir les frontales devant puis derrière, ça s'est passé comment?
Ben, j'ai jamais été tout seul, j'étais avec Germain toute la nuit, avec Germain Grangier, et on était avec Pablo Villa aussi, avec le russe Dimitri Mityaev, et qui a arrêté. Ensuite Pablo a arrêté, on a doublé Jim Wamsley, et du coup là, on s'est retrouvé dans la nuit avec la frontale de François qu'on voyait devant à 7-8 minutes, et derrière on voyait qu'il y avait déjà le trou. Donc en tout cas c'était intéressant et de se retrouver avec Germain, avec qui je pouvais discuter pendant la nuit aussi. On avait un bon rythme.
Okay, so he was saying he was actually never alone during the night, which was really good. Yeah, he actually, the whole night was with Germain Grangier.
The entire time?
Yes, and there were a couple of, at the beginning there was Germain, but there was also Dimitri Mityaev, the Russian guy, and also Pablo Villa. But then those guys dropped out. Then when he came out of Courmayeur, well, they were with Pablo and Germain. Pablo pulled out, and then they caught up to Jim Wamsley, who didn't feel good after Berton, who also pulled out. And then they were on their own, both of them. It was actually really good for them because they were chatting all along, and the time went by faster during the night. And they had Francois at lamp, and they could see it always between 5 and 10 minutes ahead. And which was even better, they could see there weren't any headlamps before. They had already built a gap to the guys behind.
So maybe in that sense, the night was nice in that you knew you were comfortably behind Francois, but ahead of the other men.
Donc c'était assez sympa, assez confortable cette nuit de voir que vous étiez voilà, pas trop loin derrière François, mais que derrière il y avait un gap, quoi.
Oui, voilà, on savait que ça serait dur de toute façon de revenir sur François. Donc déjà la priorité c'était de conforter notre place sur le podium et l'avant sur les autres. Et puis après de voir comment François allait se comporter. Mais, ouais.
Yeah, he's saying it was actually quite comfortable to be in that position because they knew Francois was fairly strong, but he was still within, not maybe within reach. But what was really important, I think, for both of them was to try and consolidate that podium spot and to get some gap on the guy behind, which was what they were doing. And then they would see when the sun would rise, how would Francois react, and would he start pushing even more? But it was good for them.
I don't know if this is a thing with French runners, but American runners say that the UTMB race really begins in Champex-Lac for the final 45 kilometers or so. Is that a thing that you were thinking about too, like how to get to Champex-Lac feeling good for the rest of the race?
Elle dit que les coureurs américains, ils disent vraiment que la course, elle commence à Champé et ils veulent arriver à Champé en bonne condition. Est-ce que toi, c'est quelque chose que tu considères ça aussi? Enfin, que la course, elle commence à Champé et que tu te dis, il faut que j'arrive à Champé et que je sois prêt à faire la course à ce moment-là?
Oh non, j'aurais dit avant quand même. Ce Champé, il reste que entre guillemets 45 km, donc faut être bien placé. Après, c'est sûr qu'il faut pas être complètement cuit à ce moment-là, sinon la fin est horrible. Et j'étais encore bien à ce moment-là, donc ça laissait envisager une bonne fin de course quand même.
Yeah, he was saying for him the race starts before because it's only 45k after Champé,
I love
and
it.
also that the field at UTMB is so competitive. So I mean, you have to be well if you want to get a good positioning at the end. You need to be well positioned at the front. So he wanted to be well placed, and he said he was lucky enough to be to actually be still feeling quite good when he reached Champex-Lac, which is when actually he dropped Germain.
I was going to say it was around then that you must have been racing mostly by yourself then.
C'est à partir de ce moment-là que tu as commencé à vraiment courir tout seul en fait.
Oui, en fait, j'ai lâché Germain dans la montée sur Champais et j'ai vraiment accéléré pour essayer de me retrouver tout seul deuxième. Et ensuite, j'étais tout seul à partir de là.
Yeah, he said he was feeling good coming down from La Folie, and he really had. Then he thought I must attack Germain. And he attacked him on the climb to Champelac, and he pushed really hard on that climb because he wanted to get a good gap on him, and try and secure. I mean, try to get that second spot and be on his own from then.
I think it worked. I think you were by yourself really pushing into Champais and beyond that. Your minutes on Germain and the rest of the field just increased the rest of the race, while you and Francois maintained about the same gap from each other from there to the finish.
Elle a le sentiment que ça a marché en fait, parce qu'à partir de ce moment-là, tu es parti, et puis en fait ton gap sur Germain il a augmenté, en revanche par rapport à François, c'est toujours, même si ça bouge un petit peu, c'est resté assez stable.
Oui, avec François, ça bougeait pas énormément, entre 12 et 17 minutes selon les montées et les descentes. Mais après, ce qui m'inquiétait plus, c'était plutôt le retour du troisième Mathieu qui revenait, lui, près de moi. Donc, j'étais plutôt stressé par ça à la fin, on va dire.
Yeah, he's saying he wasn't worried about what was happening with François because there was always between 12 17 minutes depending on the downhill and uphills, but he's starting getting more worried and actually very worried about the comeback of Mathieu Blanchard at the end of the race. So it was quite stressful for him, I think from après à partir de Bovine quoi. From the climb to La Giette to Bovine, he was starting to get really worried because he could see. Obviously, we were giving time difference to him, and he was losing time to. I mean, Mathieu was gaining time, so he was starting getting worried.
So maybe that's almost an answer to my next question, that you were thinking about maintaining your position all the way to the finish, and maybe there wasn't a moment where it set in that I'm going to get second at UTMB.
Elle dit qu'en fait, tu t'es dit, je veux absolument sécuriser cette seconde place, mais finalement, en fait, t'as pas pu vraiment en profiter. C'était quand, enfin, où tu as pu te poser, c'est bon, je vais l'avoir, c'est dans la poche, quoi.
À partir de la tête au vent, dans la dernière traversée, en allant sur la flégère et la dernière descente, là, je savais que c'était bon parce que le troisième ne revenait plus sur moi et j'avais encore un bon rythme. Et en descente, j'avais encore de bonnes sensations, même sur la fin. Donc là, j'ai commencé à en profiter là, à partir de la dernière heure et demie de course.
He's saying only in the last hour and a half he could actually, feeling that it was secure and enjoy it. When he reached Tête au Vent and the traverse from la Tête au Vent to la Flégère, because he could see he had pushed really hard on the climb to Tête au Vent, and he could see that Mathieu wasn't getting time. So he knew from that spot, and he still had really good feelings. He's a good downhill runner, and he had still good feelings going down. So he knew it was good until starting from then.
Our reporter on the final descent around La Floria said you were flying there compared to the people in front of and behind you.
Yeah, ils avaient quelqu'un en fait à la Floria dans la dernière descente qui t'a vu descendre et qui ont dit que tu volais littéralement par rapport même à François devant ou les gens derrière, quoi. Donc, tu te sentais,
Ouais, toutes les descentes se passaient très bien. Et la dernière descente, je prenais énormément de plaisir, je commençais à profiter. Et ouais, j'ai encore de bonnes sensations, donc voilà, autant y aller le plus vite possible.
Yeah, he said he was lucky because I don't know if it's lucky, but he was well prepared because all the downhills were really good for him during the whole race, and especially that last one where his legs were still actually quite good and he could actually enjoy it, so he just let it flow and he had a good downhill.
What was it like I can't believe these bells are going
Yes.
the whole interview. What was it like to run through Chamonix, through the line of crowds and to cross the finish second place?
Donc tu t'es senti comment quand t'es arrivé dans Chamonix et voir cette foule là, qu'est-ce qui t'est passé par la tête?
Bah, c'est vrai que d'habitude on le voit derrière l'écran ou derrière de l'autre côté des barrières, donc là d'être au milieu de cette foule, on profite du moment et c'est vraiment impressionnant toute cette foule qui vient acclamer les coureurs et ouais, c'est émouvant. Puis on repense à tous les derniers mois de préparation, à tous les sacrifices qu'on a fait, donc ouais, c'est un beau moment de vivre.
Yeah, he said obviously he'd seen all the pictures and the videos, but he said it's nothing compared to when you actually go through it yourself. And he said he was starting to get very, very emotional because he started thinking about all the training, and he's had a lot of injuries in the past years, and so all the sacrifices he had done, in the past month and years. So everything started to come back, and he was very emotional. So he really enjoyed it.
It was really enjoyable to watch. Also, you just let your emotions out. It looked like there were feelings of relief and happiness just coming out of you, pouring out.
Ouais, elle dit que tu as vraiment tout lâché et puis que tu as eu vraiment des sentiments de soulagement à l'arrivée et puis un bonheur réel, quoi.
Oui, là, c'était le moment de tout lâcher. Et puis après 20 heures à courir dans les montagnes, on est content de voir la famille, la copine qui me ravitaillait. Donc, ouais, c'était vraiment chouette. Ouais.
Yeah, he's saying especially after being tired, after spending 20 hours running in the mountains, it was he let everything go, and he had this girlfriend who had done all the assistance during the race who was there for him. So she was very emotional as well. So it was a very special moment for him.
My last question for you, which I think is a mean question to ask the day after 100 miles, but do you have other plans for running or racing in 2021?
Alors elle dit sa dernière question, qui est une question un peu méchante, c'est est-ce que là, avec tes jambes un peu dures, tu as des ambitions de courir une autre course en 2021?
Oui, je veux faire une autre course, mais je n'ai pas encore déterminé laquelle. Je vais prendre le temps Là, je pars 2 semaines en vacances et voilà, on va réfléchir avec mon entraîneur. Je voudrais faire une autre course, mais je ne sais pas encore laquelle exactement. Au mois d'octobre ou peut-être novembre.
He's saying yes, he will race again. He just doesn't know where for the moment. He doesn't want to decide now. He's going on holidays tomorrow for 2 weeks with his girlfriend, and he will sit down with his coach. But yeah, he wants to race one last race either in between late September and November, somewhere in there.
So glad to hear you're taking a vacation, and congratulations on your second place finish at the 2021 UTMB.
Encore bravo.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks.